Hi everyone, it's Diane with Batik, and today is Fabric Friday. It is January 5th, and that would be 2024. So I need to wish all of you a very, very, very happy new year. I'm sure you have so many wonderful plans and resolutions for this next year. But before we get started today on the projects that I really want to share with you, I do have to wish a very happy birthday to Bruce's mom, Estelle, who is celebrating her wonderful birthday today. And I just have to thank her too for all the amazing feedback and support for everything that we do here at Batik. She's just absolutely wonderful. And so we love you so much, Mom. Okay, today, talking about resolutions, one of the things that I have tried to do, and I haven't been very successful, is finishing all the various projects that I start or want to start throughout the year. And so I looked back at all of the different things that I had attempted to start this past year and told myself, okay, in 2024, we're going to finish some of these projects. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to focus on how to not accumulate so many scraps, or what do we do with the scraps after we've finished our project, if we have any. And so that is something that I'm really going to work on this year. Over the Christmas and New Year's, I shouldn't even say it's a break because we didn't really take a break, but over that duration of time, I did find my very first unfinished project that I wanted to finish. And you're not going to believe this, but it was so easy to finish it because I simply just needed to finish the binding around one side of this bag. Was so mad at myself for not finishing it ahead of time. But the bag we are going to talk about today is Divide and Conquer. This is a bag, it's like a, you know, if you were going to go on a weekend trip, it's like a carry-on bag that you can put on a plane, put all of your things in, and really travel in style. It's just such a cute, functional bag. I'm going to show you the cover of the pattern. This is Divide and Conquer again, and it's available in 2 different sizes. So we can make this a small or a large, and the pattern is ByAnnie Patterns. Let's talk a little bit about the size and the functionality of this bag, and then we'll get into a little bit about what we've done for kits on our website as well. There are 2 sizes included in this, and I have made the large bag here, and the bag measures 11 high, so 11 inches high by 16 inches wide. And then the depth, which is the best part of this bag, to be honest with you, is 8.5 inches wide. It is just magnificent. Now, the small bag, I grabbed a piece of fabric, just a piece of cotton, and I wanted to set it on top of this bag so you can see the difference. I have not made a small bag yet, but at least this will show you the difference in size. So if I lean this up against this large bag, the small, so now envision this, okay, is 9.5 inches tall by 13.5 inches wide, and then the depth will be 6.5 inches. So it's just 2 inches narrower than the large bag, okay? But I think it will show you kind of the difference between the sizes. Here's the small, and then the large, of course, is what I've made. The other reason I really wanted to share this bag today too isn't simply because I finished it, but because it's made with our Batik Canvas for the main fabric. So the Batik Canvas is the outside fabric, and it is the 5-ounce canvas. We also have the 8.6 ounce canvas, which is the heavier canvas, but I used the 5-ounce canvas on this. I also used the coordinating 5-ounce canvas For handles, and this is the Gardenista Vine Napa colorway. This is the bright purple, hand-dyed. And then I also used Batik Cotton for the lining as well as the binding and any additional smaller areas that either were going to be binding or really didn't require the canvas at all. And so the cotton is a coordinating bright purple hand-dyed cotton for my binding. And then inside, which is the fun part of this bag, I selected our Medora Flora in the shade of flax is the lining for this bag. And I just love the color combinations for this bag. Let's talk a little bit about the features of this I call it a carry-on bag, but remember, you can use any of these bags for whatever purpose that you think about for yourself. But for me, it was going to be a travel bag, carry-on bag, things that I can use when I am out visiting, even if I'm not getting on a plane. It's just the perfect travel bag. Each of the outsides, we have a zipper compartment that goes all the way to the base of the bag. So that is on both sides. Now I will tell you that this also has instructions for adding a back strap that has Velcro on it that you can easily pull apart and slide onto a roller bag. So if you're going through an airport and have a carry-on bag, there is an optional strap for that. I just knew I wasn't going to use it in that purpose, so I did not add that strap. But all of those components are included in our project kit, just so you know that. The straps themselves, of course, are adjustable. So the large bag, the strap measures 1.5 inches wide. So the hardware would be for the 1.5 inch wide strapping. The small bag is 1 inch wide. So that's the difference between those two. And then inside, let's show you the inside of this bag. Both of the side pockets have a vinyl covering with a zipper opening. And if you really look at the depth here between this seam and this is the depth of that pocket. And that pocket is on both sides of our bag. And I just love how it opens just completely flat so that you can set this on any surface, whether it's your bed or a sewing table or wherever it happens to be. Open everything wide to see what you have in your bag and what you're packing. The inside also has these two what are called pages in Annie's pattern. And it's a single layer of quilted fabric. So this is the main fabric side and this is the lining side. And there is mesh covering the entire page with a zipper opening on both sides. So these aren't compartmentalized, you know, with adding a seam down the center or anything like that. They're just wide open so that you can put anything that you'd like in your center pages. These are attached before you attach your vinyl and the entire bag. So it is really, I just think it's so functional and can be used for so many different purposes. The best part to me is that it opens completely flat and allows you to see things and it allows you to put almost anything in this bag. What do you think? I just think it's such a great travel bag. And what we did for these bags is I did add this bag, as many of you know, I added this project kit to our website. And the kits, you have the option of selecting from our 5-ounce canvas for the main fabric, or the 8.6 ounce canvas. And we've received orders for both. Well, at the end of our introduction to this bag, I'll answer a couple of customer questions. And one of them was, when do I really want to use the 8.6 ounce canvas versus the 5 ounce canvas? And so we'll get into that a little bit later on. But I want to share with you what goes in these project kits. And I have one right here that I'm going to open up for you so that you can see the kits. This particular kit, I actually took the pattern out of it, so I don't have that in here right now. But this particular kit is our ocean teal colorway. Okay, so I'll share that with you as well. But when you open up one of our project kits, we have, it's like an initial pattern cover which shares our sample kit. And then in that also, we have kind of an introduction to the project kit. It describes the kit itself, your fabric selection. So for example, this particular kit is for the ocean teal in the canvas weight of 5.0 ounces. And then each one of the components that go in the kit with the yardage for each component. And then we have a base kit. If you're unfamiliar with our project kits, we have the base kit that has everything you would need to purchase to put the kit together. There are add-ons to the kit, and I really like to explain this because you may have already purchased the divide and conquer pattern, so you might not need that pattern. You might already be a bag maker that has a lot of stabilizer, or you have soft and stable at home, or you use a different stabilizer. The soft and stable stabilizer is an add-on. You also might have hardware, or you have your choice or preference of hardware. The hardware is also an add-on. This particular kit, we did have, the person did not want the pattern. They already have soft and stable. They did want the hardware, and so it does include the hardware for this particular customer. We really want to make our kits flexible enough for you to include what you need and what you don't need. So when you look at the base kit, this particular kit uses 4 different fabrics. The main fabric is canvas. The straps we make out of canvas, and so that is in here. And then there's the lining and the coordinate fabric. So we have 4 different fabrics. There's fusible interfacing. There's a lot of zipper in this particular kit. So there's almost 5 yards of zipper for the kit, plus all the different zipper pulls that you need. There's 5.5 yards of strapping that goes in the handles, and there's mesh, the vinyl, and Velcro. So those are what comes in this main base kit. So as we open up, actually I'm going to leave this right here. As we open up the kit, you're going to see each one of the fabrics will be labeled. So this is the main fabric, and this is the canvas. It is Garden East Divine in the shade of Ocean Teal. The straps are going to be made with our hand-dyed Copen Blue. Then we have the lining, which will be Violetta Soft Mint for this particular kit, and this is the cotton as well. And then we have our coordinate, which is the same colorway as the strapping on this particular kit. So that is Copen Blue. So each one of these fabrics will be used in the kit. I do want to step back and mention to you too that since our canvas is 57 inches wide, we love the fact that it's 57 inches wide, because Annie's Soft and Stable is 58 to 60 inches wide. So it's the exact same width as one cut of the Soft and Stable. And so what we do for the lining is we have converted everything to be the same width. With our 115 inch wide fabric, we're able to cut 57 inches to be your lining width, so that your main fabric, your soft and stable, and your lining are all the same width fabric. So if you would like to follow Annie's guidelines on cutting everything and quilting it together, or if you quilt the whole entire thing all at once, we make it easy to do that. So you don't have to think about, the canvas being one width versus the cotton being another. And so that is one thing to always keep in mind. Now, with that said, Annie's patterns are assuming the fabric width is 45 inches wide. I love making each one of these in order to share with you how the conversion works between 45 inch wide fabric and the 57 inches that we have in our canvas. So I always include, if it changes, but you're going to get this kit insert in every one of our kits, but I always include a chart for how to cut out each component of the kit. So for this one specifically, for a small bag and for the large bag, how each one of the pieces needs to be cut from our width fabric. So we really try to make it super, super simple for you to be able to just jump in and start your project, okay? So this goes in the kit with our fabric, and then we have, I'm gonna set aside the hardware here, but we have the strapping. So this is 5.5 yards of strapping. We also have the coordinating zippers. So this is actually zippers by the yard plus an additional 40-inch piece that goes into this kit. So it's a lot of zipper. And then we include another packet of little accessories. So we have our mesh telling you how many inches of mesh you need. There's the interfacing in here, and then the Velcro as well. And when it comes to Velcro, we're doing our best to keep it as subtle as possible. So this one is a relatively dark fabric, so we've included the black Velcro, and we have the Velcro available in 3 different colorways to try to match it as easily and nicely as possible. That's what is included in this particular kit. So it's the fabric, it's zippers, it's strapping, it's mesh, it's Velcro, it's interfacing, and vinyl. So we include the vinyl in your package as well. And optionally, you can add on the pattern, the soft and stable, and your hardware, okay? Now also know that all of the add-ons are discounted because you are building an amazing creation for your kit. And so we really want to be cost conscious of all of those components. Definitely take a look at the add-ons. Now on our website, you will see the kit, you'll see the description, and then you'll see all of the questions that you need to answer to make sure that we've built the kit the way you would like us to build it. And then once you've got all that set, you hit add to cart. It's just that simple. Once you've purchased one of our handbag kits, it'll be a breeze going forward. Now, the one thing that we've also really, really tried hard to do is help you with fabric choices. It is really difficult to jump from the canvas page over to the cotton page to try and find coordinates. We went through the process for this particular bag, created 4 initial color combinations that should help kind of get you to think about the colors that work together, and maybe one of those is perfect for you. But if it's not, we'll talk a little bit about other colorways and how we can work with you to pick your perfect color and make it custom for you, okay? But right now, what we have available for this particular kit is the Gardenista Vine Napa colorway that I shared in our bag, the Ocean Teal colorway from this particular kit here, which I think so many people are blue and turquoise lovers, and I had to put this one together because I think it's just going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous bag. Can I tell you right now what the most popular one is? Well, it's Napa, plus the next colorway. I have to get this so that I can kind of put it in front of the video here, is Firecracker Red. And this is the Gardenista Vine. The colorway is Firecracker Red. Let me show you that a little bit closer here. Isn't that amazing? It's so fun. And just looking at this to be one of these bags would just be spectacular. If you love red and purple. The lining we selected is the Sacred Branch motif in the way the color is soft lilac. And I just think that it really pulls out the purple from the Gardenista Vine, Firecracker Red. The canvas straps, we've selected bright purple again. And then the coordinate for binding and other accents will be the bright purple cotton. Another one of our packs that we've done is, we're going to start with the Medora Flora in the shade of dark brown. For those of you who like a little darker bag, this has been amazingly popular. And the lining is the same lining that I selected for the Napa colorway over here, which is Medora Flora in the shade of flax. And then for the straps, I selected our solid black tuxedo. And the coordinate for the binding, our hand-dyed tuxedo. So this is another option. This is the dark brown option. Now, the one thing I do have to mention, and I didn't mention it earlier, is that the strapping is our 5-ounce canvas. I don't know if I mentioned that or didn't mention it, but I wanted to make sure, because the main fabric can be either our 5-ounce canvas or the 8.6-ounce canvas. So that is your choice. And then the canvas for the straps is the 5-ounce. There is one reason for that. We did not make all of the hand-dyed options that we currently have in our 5-ounce available as our 8.6-ounce canvas. And so we'll have to take a look at that and see. Let us know what you think about that. Right now, the 5-ounce has the most variety of a hand-dyed fabric to make the strappings. Now, also remember, if you want to do a custom kit and you want to reverse it and put a hand-dyed fabric as your main external canvas and use one of our motifs as your strapping, that would be absolutely gorgeous too. Again, customize it the way you would like it to be for yourself. Now, a new fabric combination that I'm adding to the website. I worked with a customer the other day who really wanted to work with our animal skin charcoal, which when you really think about it, my first thought was, is tuxedo going to be our coordinate? Surprisingly, it is not. We came up with a couple of ideas, and the one I selected for us to add to our website as a color option is, here is the animal skin charcoal, which I really, really love. Actually, I'm going to show it to you individually. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's really that dark tone to it. And if you look closely, there are blacks, there is blue in here, and there is brown in here as well. Okay, hopefully the lighting is showing you that. But what we selected for the handles and the strapping is actually hand-dyed charcoal, which goes beautifully with the hints of charcoal inside the colorway of this motif. And the lining that I selected is Vine in the colorway of Dream Blue. And then I thought we would go blue for the coordinate, which brings out a lot of the deep blues that are in the animal skin charcoal fabric. So the binding and any accents will come from the hand-dyed deep wisteria. So this is a new color combination that we have available on our website as well. Which leads me to another conversation, which is, since I put together a bunch of these color combinations, not all of you may want a complete kit with those color packs. So we've also added on our website each one of these colorways as an individual pack, and they're called Batik Canvas plus Cotton Coordinate Packs. And we made these available as a 1 yard pack and a 1.5 yard pack. So you may have, I don't know, any other pattern possibility that you would like to make a bag or anything else out of these color combinations with the canvas and the cotton, but it's not the divide and conquer pattern that you want, which means you don't need all that other stuff that comes in the kit. But we've made each one of these packs available. That I think has been a really, really wonderful thing. So each one of the packs then comes with, and I have to remember exactly how we did this. Here it is. The main fabric, you have your choice. Again, the canvas can be either the 5 ounce or the 8.6 ounce canvas. And it's 1 yard or 1.5 yards. And then the lining will match that. So 1 yard or 1.5 yards at 57 inches. So your lining's always going to match the width of our canvas, okay? But the lining will be cotton. The strap fabric will always be 5 ounces. It'll be the 5 ounce weight. And that is 1/2 yard for the 1 yard pack and 3/4 of a yard for the 1.5 yard pack. Because you typically don't need, and I guess we've defined it as strap fabric, but that's what I would use it for. You don't typically need that much if you are making straps for a bag. And so that's why it's less fabric. And then the coordinate, the cotton coordinate is 3/4 of a yard for the 1 yard pack and 1 yard for the 1.5 yard pack. So you're really getting a great many fabrics to make any project you want to make, or multiple projects, because it is a lot of fabric. And again, those canvas plus cotton packs can be customized with any of our canvas fabrics that we have, 5 or 8.6 ounce, and any of our cotton fabrics that we have in our 115 inch wide collection. So you can customize away, and it's really fun to help you do that because it really opens up my mind to different color combinations that I may never have even thought of. And Bruce and I have a lot of fun sitting at the table, pulling out one of these fabrics and then laying out the fabrics that might go with it. And I have to show you something really quick. You're gonna laugh at me. What I do is you may wonder what we do with all the excess bolt ends that we have of our 115 inch wide fabric. I use them as trays. And so this is our blue set of 115 inch wide fabric. I really always have to have a fat quarter of every one of our fabrics available to do color coordination. This is the blue combination that we have. I have another tray that has all of our purples and all of our fall shades. Should I call it that, fall or autumn shades? And then I have a third one that has all of our neutrals and brights and more of the blues. These 3 trays or bolt ends that we have make up every single one of our 115 inch wide fabrics. It really is a great way for Bruce and I to look at things and to understand kind of where are we missing something? Where do we need to add something? And truly helps us coordinate when we have questions from you about what goes with what fabrics. Even if you're working with cotton and cotton, it really helps us pull out the fabrics really easily to understand what works together. So let me know down in the comments below, or send us a chat message online or an email or phone call if you have any questions about the Divide and Conquer project bag that we've added to our website, or any of the new cotton and canvas coordinating packs as well. Just let us know. We are so anxious to add other color combinations. The next project that I have selected is the Buckthorn Backpack and Tote project. I'm really excited to make this. We've had this pattern available for a little while, but you know, something told me that I should wait on this one, and it was a good thing, because I'm going to use our 8.6 ounce canvas, and this will be the first official project that I'm kind of sewing up that is based off of a pattern here. And I'm excited to do it. No quilting. It's going to be fun to see how stiff this fabric is and how it actually is going to look when it's all done in this pattern. I am first making the backpack, and I've selected, actually I already cut out all the pieces. I've selected our 8.6 ounce canvas that is Phoenix. This is the shade of Clifton Garden. I think it's going to make a beautiful backpack. The lining I've selected is our 5 ounce canvas, and this is the Medora Flora in the shade of Delft. And for the straps, I selected the hand-dyed Delft. Again, this is the 5 ounce canvas, and I think it's going to look really, really nice against the Clifton Garden. That'll be a great strap and accents for this backpack, okay? Let's talk a little bit about the supplies for this particular bag. I am going to use a fusible fleece for a little bit of cushion in this bag. The supply list on the back basically says that you may or may not need a stabilizer. It depends on what you would like your bag to look like and the stiffness of your bag, depending on the main fabric that you choose. And so if you're using, for example, this is a waxed canvas in the tote, this is a canvas here, a heavyweight canvas for the backpack. If you're using something of that strength, you may or may not need a stabilizer. I'm going to put a fusible fleece inside, and I'm actually going to use the interfacing that's described in here as well, because I'm going to use it for a computer bag, and so I just want a little bit more cushion in it, and so that's why I'm doing that. I actually don't believe that the 8.6 ounce canvas requires the stabilizer, but I am going to put that in this, and I'll share the process along the way so you know what my decision is and how stiff the bag was or not once I've made it as well, okay? But it does require hardware, and so I have selected the nickel finish for the triangle rings and the wide mouth sliders, as well as the swivel snaps, because I'm going to do the full strap on this backpack. I am going to use our heavier canvas for the straps and not cotton webbing, which is shown here on this picture. So we'll see how that works as well. And the zipper, I have selected, the zipper is going to be in the shade of Parrot Blue. Isn't that going to be fun? Okay, so that's my next bag, and I'm really excited to share with you the process along the way. It's going to also determine for me whether or not I use soft and stable in the tote bag. I also want to make a tote bag using our heavier canvas. That one probably I am going to put soft and stable in just because I want the extra cushion. It isn't going to be that the bag needs additional stabilizer, but just that I want that extra cushion in it. We'll share that along the way as well. Next, let's go through some customer questions. The first one I want to address is one that came to me from our YouTube channel. It was a customer wanting to know when I'm going to do the tutorial of the open wide bags. And I have to apologize. I started the video for the open wide bags, and that, if you recall, that's a pattern that has 3 different size bags, and they're just a fun, kind of a cosmetic bag without any of the pockets on the inside. It's just a simple open bag. I'm almost done with it, but the last few videos did not turn out right. They were at the complete wrong angle. My camera moved, and so I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to use a good portion of the videoing that I've already done and just replace the end, or I'm going to make another bag and completely redo it. So I apologize for the delay on that. I did say I was going to have that tutorial available. It will be shortly. I just have to find the time to go back and revisit the whole thing and make the right judgment call on how to fix that video. So we'll get that out here shortly, and you'll see that on our YouTube channel. I'll make an announcement in our email newsletter as well as on our website. The second question, the customer question, is actually all about the conversation that we've been having today with regards to the canvas. Question that I must get daily, if not almost every other day, is when do I use the 8.6 ounce versus the 5 ounce canvas, or what can I use it for? I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. The one thing to think about too is that 5 ounce canvas is slightly, maybe double the weight of a cotton or batik cotton fabric. It is a wonderful weight for any of the handbag projects that you may see here or from your favorite pattern designers. Really gives a nice rugged feel to your main external fabric that you choose. And I think it really adds a lot of longevity to any project. The same can be true for the 8.6 ounce canvas. That is just heavier. It is both heavier in its feel as well as in its weight. It is truly a heavier weighted canvas. Either selection, again, can be used for any bag, organizer bag, can be used for upholstery, can be used for clothing, garment sewing. I've made a tamarack jacket using pre-quilted 5 ounce canvas and a cotton with a bamboo lining. And it is just, it's an amazing feel. It's a great fabric use for it. Kathy, who I sew with here, and she helps us make garments and different things here in the office, she made a pair of pants, jeans, out of the 8.6 ounce canvas. They are gorgeous. She just described it as no different than a jean fabric and just really loves the feel of it, and they were just fantastic. So I have to finish my overall project that I have wanted to finish here for the last 6 months. Again, New Year's resolution. I think it's going to be great to make overalls out of the 8.6 ounce canvas, the heavier canvas. So I think a couple of things to think about is, what are you using your project or your bag or your garment for, and how sturdy does it need to be? Will it be a bag that's used every day, like a backpack? Might be used every day if you carry it to and from work every day, or a child has one, or your youth has one that's taking one to school. Could be something like that. So if you want it a little bit more durable, then go with the 8.6 ounce canvas. I don't think either choice is wrong. I think it's just a decision of how much something is going to be used. And then, of course, the most obvious is how you sew with it and what you're making, to be honest. Because if you're making, and I'm going to step back for a second, your sewing machine may also determine what you can and cannot make with a heavier canvas. If this bag were being made with the 8.6 ounce canvas, and you have to sew let me just describe this for you. There's two sides of the fabric here that are going to be joined together to create this side seam. And then you have binding going on the top of that. With 8.6 ounce canvas on the outside of both, with soft and stable on both, and with cotton on both as your lining, and then 2 layers of binding, your edges get really thick. And they can be anywhere from 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch, depending on whether or not the inside of your bag also might have a pocket. That pocket could be double layered. And so your layers that you're going to attempt to put underneath your sewing machine needle are going to be pretty hefty. Just feel confident and comfortable with what your sewing machine can do, with what you feel comfortable doing. And I always say use either a size 14 or 16 needle, top stitch needle preferred, and going slow and not pushing or pulling your fabric through your sewing machine. Also, you just have to kind of test to know what is comfortable for you. Not every bag pattern will require multiple layers of things or binding on things. That's why I'm really anxious to try this buckthorn backpack pattern, because there's no quilting, there's not a lot of layers, and I think it will be fun to sew up and see how it works with the 8.6 ounce canvas. I'm using only canvas on the buckthorn. There's not going to be any cotton at all. It'll be the canvas. So that'll be fun to share with you. I know that was a long answer for the question of, the differences between the two canvas weights, but it really is a personal preference. Make sure that you ask for swatches to kind of feel the difference between the two and the difference from our cotton. So the cotton to the 5 ounce to the 8 ounce canvas. Run it under your sewing machine, wash it, feel comfortable with what you want to do with the fabric itself. There really isn't a limitation. I just think it's a preference. That wraps up our Fabric Friday, our first Fabric Friday of 2024. If you're not a subscriber of our YouTube channel, definitely subscribe below. Add any comments or share any thoughts that you would like us to see and to answer. Hopefully you follow us on our Instagram and Facebook pages, as well as receive our email newsletters for any updates and fun projects coming up and promotions and the like. We hope you keep sewing, smiling, and sharing and enjoying 2024.